Hey everybody, this is Kevin Crouch with Ellis County Weather, and I first want to say thank you to everyone that came out to the Texas Country Reporter Festival yesterday and stopped by the booth with Ellis County Weather, Waxahachie Sun, and Ellis Down Home. It was really fun to talk to all of you and to also have you speak to some of the staff of those other companies as well, because I want everyone that is following Ellis County Weather to be familiar with Waxahachie Sun and Ellis Down Home. These are brands that I'm working with. And then it's always fun to talk to people in person, to get to know you folks. I'm always looking at a camera or something of that nature, typing up a post. I don't get to talk to everyone as much. I'm delighted that now I'll be able to go to more public events and get to know you folks out there. So I appreciate you doing that, and I will always post when I'm going to one of these events so that we can catch up in person and say hello. And I also want to talk about the fact that we have some events coming up this next week, actually. So be paying attention to the page for a fun event. I don't want to say too much right now. I need to confirm some details, but we have a really neat event that I'm really excited about coming up later this week as well. So let's just pay attention to the feed for that. But before we get to all of that, we've got some interesting things happening in the weather. And if you look behind me, you'll see on the radar there are some showers and thunderstorms developing to our north. And it's kind of doing this kind of that zipper thing, right, where these storms blow up north to south. We are not expected to get any storms out of this cold front that is moving through. And it's a modest cold front, of course, but it doesn't look like much of that is going to move into our area, at least at this point. Now, I'm going to continue to monitor this in case we just so happen to get some development further south, because if we do, we could have some intense storms in our area tonight. But that's not in the forecast. We'll see if that changes. So before we get into all of that, I want to talk about Ktx Transport, and DJ told me earlier today that he didn't really have much to say about his company, but he did say to try to get some of that Christmas shopping done early. I know that some folks at the Texas Country Reporter Festival were getting some of their Christmas shopping done. I got at least one thing for Christmas, for a Christmas gift there, and he said to get those Christmas shopping goals taken care of as early as possible if you can, to try to avoid some of the shipping issues that are happening right now. Of course, I'm sure you've seen it. It's all over the news and social media as well. Just different challenges that are going on there. So if you can, get that Christmas shopping done early. I know for me, I prefer to do that anyway, just because it makes it easier on the budget. So you're not buying a ton of gifts all at once. It kind of spreads it out and makes it easier to buy some here, some there, and not have one particular month's budget just get obliterated. So good to get Christmas done early. And if you want to know more about KTX and what they do in the logistics world, go to shipktx.com. So let's get to the weather, because we got a few things going on. Like I said, tonight we're going to be watching this cold front that's moving through. And like I say, unfortunately, the cold front's not really going to do a whole lot temperature-wise, but we could be looking at some storms. We're definitely looking at storms in the northern part of the area, right around the Red River. But further south, I'm going to be watching to make sure that we don't somehow get some development here. And if we do, got to make sure those storms aren't going to try to overachieve and do anything untoward in our area. So for right now, the forecast tonight, we should not get any rain. I'm going to keep an eye on it. And then tomorrow, Monday, will be mostly sunny with highs in the mid-80s. Like I said, there's not really going to be much change temperature-wise from this front. Monday night, mostly clear with lows right around the mid-60s. And then Tuesday, partly sunny, right back into highs in the mid-80s. Here's where things start to change. Tuesday night, we do have a chance for showers and thunderstorms. We could have some severe storms. Last I checked, we are included in a marginal risk for severe weather. You can probably see that over my shoulder here. Included in a marginal risk. Now, the slight risk area is pretty close, so that could very easily change. We could be included in that slight risk over time. We'll have to wait and see kind of how the forecast is refined over time. These storms will be late Tuesday night, early Wednesday morning. Okay, lows will be in the mid-60s, so temperature-wise about the same, but we are expecting a straight line of storms to come through. Now, I want to talk a little bit about that straight line of storms. They did say, the National Weather Service did say in their latest discussion, the forecast discussion, that we could be looking at embedded supercell thunderstorms. Now, that, of course, just a few weeks ago, is what brought the tornado warnings to Ellis County when we had those circulations that were developing within that straight line. So tornadoes are possible. It doesn't look like it's a high likelihood at this time, but we do still have that opportunity. So I'm going to continue to watch this situation developing for late Tuesday night, early Wednesday morning. I'm going to be making sure my coffee stock is all ready to go for that overnight event. Make sure you have multiple ways to receive warnings, whether that's following my page or the weather radio that I've talked about before. There are there are cell phone alerts rather, that oftentimes will automatically come to your phone just through the emergency alert system. But if you don't have that, then I believe the National Weather Service does have a service you can sign up for, as well as the Ellis County Emergency Operations Department, the Office of Emergency Management, rather. And I will post some of those links. Actually, I'll try to post those here in the description and in the just the tag of the video, so that you have those links. And I'll try to make sure you have that. And then throughout the next couple of days, I'll see if I can include that in the feed as well. But you want to have multiple ways to receive warnings in case one doesn't work or something of that nature, especially if it's overnight and you're going to be sleeping. You want to make sure that you are aware. And those weather radios that I've talked about will wake you up. Those things could wake you dead, okay? So let's get into Wednesday. Storms early in the morning. Looks like we could have some lingering showers and possibly a thunderstorm or two into the first half of Wednesday. And then I think all of this moves east by the afternoon with highs only in the mid-70s. So the second cold front that we're going to get on Tuesday night is going to be a lot more potent and will bring those cooler temperatures. Wednesday night, mostly clear with lows in the mid-50s. Thursday, sunny. And we have a windy day on Thursday with highs in the low 70s. So there might be a little bit of a chilly breeze that day. And then Thursday night, mostly clear with lows in the low 50s. And then Friday, sunny with highs in the low 70s. So it's going to be nice. It's going to be really nice rolling into the weekend. Now, I will say that if we look ahead to Halloween, I don't have a firm forecast for you yet for your Halloween trick-or-treating festivities, whether it's trick-or-treating or a fall festival or trunk or treat, or the different kinds of things that this community does. There is expected to be a warming trend going into Halloween, but it looks like a gradual warming trend. So it could be we could have highs in the mid to upper 70s. It doesn't look like it's going to be terribly hot for your Halloween, but it looks like it'll be a little bit warmer than possibly the end of the week this week. So stay tuned for more on that weekend forecast, that Halloween forecast. I'll have more for that later this week, and we kind of have a little more certainty there. It's a little unclear at this point exactly what we're looking at, but I do want to also tell you, just stay tuned for the updates on Tuesday nights, Wednesday mornings severe weather. We really want to keep an eye on that. This is our second severe weather season, so we want to make sure that we're keeping an eye on that situation. I'll be watching the radar tonight just in case we happen to have development further south along the current cold front. But the good thing is that after the storms Tuesday night, Wednesday morning, we get cooler temperatures for the rest of the week. So stay tuned. More updates on the Ellis County Weather Facebook page. Make sure you're following the Facebook page, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram. If you go to elliscountyweather.com, that is kind of a landing page for all of our platforms. I will tell you, these videos and the live streams look best on YouTube, to be honest with you. You need more chances to put it on your TV if it's easier to watch that way. So any questions you have about those platforms, send them in. Otherwise, stay tuned for more updates.